Brazil took on Peru in the final of the Copa America. I've been waiting for this for a very long time. It's been coming for quite a while now. Um, it was everything I expected it to be. I mostly expected Brazil to win the game. I didn't really give Peru a chance because how they came into this final. They beat Chile 3-0, but if you would have saw the game, the result is really lying to you. It's just a result. Basically, they got there because Chile made way more mistakes than what they should have. They were attacking the whole game, and basically Peru qualified because they just punished them on the certain instances that they had and on just Chile being really bad defensively. And then Brazil, they also had kind of a reckless game, not such a good game against Argentina. There was a lot of controversy over the referee calling, but they got the goal, so I expected them more to be more an offensive threat. And I saw some of the Argentina games, so I saw them coming into this game way better than situated than Peru did. From the get-go, Peru was actually trying to look for the game. They were trying to get a early goal, things like that. They were attacking. They were kind of making it hard for Brazil to gain possession and feel comfortable and things like that. But literally that just lasted like 20 something minutes, maybe even less, 15. And then once Brazil started getting comfortable, once Brazil started getting the ball and the Peruvian players started getting tired of pressuring or pressing up the field, Brazil was able to just start creating chances, start getting close to the opposition, and then they were just basically closing down the midfield, making it really hard for Peru to get on the offensive. They have certain little players that are very clinical, maybe in speed, things like that. Maybe like Guerrero for Peru, that can maybe cause a few problems for the Brazilian defense because of his speed. And yeah, because like the other players, they're good, they're technically good, like Cueva and who else they have? I'm not too sure at the moment, but they had their chances. But Brazil literally got their chances. They got one by Everton by a cross from Gabriel Jesus, and that was just all merit to Gabriel Jesus. He got it on the banda. He got it on the wing. He faked like he was going in. Then he took the ball out with his left, putting it behind his back, and then just crossing it with his right. And that's just his ability to do that. And then once he crossed it with his right, Avincula being bad positioned, having both center backs on Firmino, who was in the middle, and Avincula being very far in the center of the 18-yard box or the 6-yard box, waiting for the center, waiting for the cross, and he did not look behind him, seeing that Everton was coming in all alone. And Gabriel Jesus, that's basically who we put the ball for. I guess he saw he just basically lifted up his head. He saw Vincula bad position, and he just put the ball a little bit behind him. And then Everton came in with everything and just slotted it home, put it to that first post, just crossed it. The goalie didn't even expect it, and there it is, goal number 1, and Brazil is up. And this is what I expected. Like I said it in the other video of the Peru and Chile review that I did, the match review, where I said that there's no way that Peru is going to be scoring on Brazil. I know they did score by a penalty, but I did not see them by a quality that they had. I didn't see them being in there because of like this guy Allison. He's such a rock. Like, I don't see them getting through him. He only got 1 goal scored on him. He could have had a clean sheet if it wasn't for the penalty, but he's been masterclass in this match and in the whole Copa America. And then literally just a few minutes later, maybe not, like probably like 5-10 around there, they got a second goal, and it was by Gabriel Jesus. It literally happened right after the penalty, and this was just a goal that was started by Arthur. No, it was actually started by Firmino. Peru won back possession. They were going through the middle. Firmino chased down the guy. He basically slide tackle and just like hit it back with like his right foot. I don't know how he slide tackled and hit it back as a pass, and Arthur got it. Then the guy that was finna mark him or come up on him, press him, he slipped, and then Arthur won the position. Saw that, he just kept on running. All the Peruvian players were in the play before, so they were all close to the right. And then as Arthur was seeing, Gabriel Jesus was moving into the open space, which was in the middle. And then Zambrano was the defender, the center back that was right there in the middle. And he also slipped, so then he saw that. And Arthur just put in that small little pass, very precise. And Gabriel Jesus, being the forward that he is, he just slided it home because it was just him one-on-one against the goalie. So he just hit it to the far second post to the left, and easy goal, you know. And there you go, Brazil was up 2-1. And I mean, I saw that coming. They did that literally like at the 43rd minute. They just got a breather after conceding a goal on a penalty, which I didn't really feel was a kind of a penalty. But I mean, with the new rules in FIFA now that were started in like since July 1st, any handball in the box is basically a penalty, and that's basically what happened. Peru got one back by Paolo Guerrero, where he just slided it home like he is the number 9, the true forward of Peru, and he just basically just lied to Allison, making him go the wrong way, and he slided it home towards the right. Very easy penalty. It gave hope for the Peruvian fans. It was kind of controversial. They were almost going to overturn it, but the ref saw what he saw. It was kind of controversial because Thiago Silva basically just went in for a slide tackle, and you know, you turn your face and you put your hand behind you just to help you not fall very bad, you know. And that hand that he put to support his weight as he fell, that was the one that got hit, and that's how the penalty was called. And I feel like it was fair. It's kind of tricky call. Maybe now it's going to be called that way from now on. But, you know, that's basically what happened. And then the big news of the day, or the big problem, or the big story, what people are probably going to be talking about, what people are talking about all over Twitter, is the Gabriel Jesus red card, which he was getting provoked from the beginning. This guy was getting hit. He was just doing like his Brazilian flair. He was like messing with the Peruvian defenders, and he got really hit on one of the plays. He got really pushed by Zambrano out, and then Gabriel Jesus to get one back on him. They put a ball in the air, and he basically jumped as high as he could, and just like, I don't know if he elbowed him or just hit him with the side of his side. I don't know. The side of his body, and he basically made Zambrano get off balance, and it was a yellow card. Gabriel Jesus already had a yellow card in the beginning instances of the game. I think it was in the first half. And so he got 2 yellows, and it was a red. And you could see the emotion on his face, what it meant to him, how this would affect the team. Tite was finna take him out as well, but he got this red card. He was going to put Richarlison in for him. And so it just messed up the whole team. He was fuming. He was furious. And you could see it. He almost knocked down the VAR. And thankfully, someone caught it, because I feel like if someone didn't catch that thing, that would have been a lot of money in the drain right there, just because of emotion and things like that. And he probably could have even missed games, because that's property of FIFA, and you can't just be messing with that. And you could see it. They closed up on him back there in the tunnel, and he was crying. He was full of emotions, like I said. And it's good to see a player like that, but it's good. But the player needs to have his head in focus, and you can't just let these little things get in your head, you know. And ultimately, Brazil got another one. They got another penalty for their favor this time. It was Everton that like took on 2 players, and then he kind of put the ball a little bit forward. And as he did that, Zambrano, again, this guy was just involved in all these plays. He pushed them out of position, and basically Peru was going to get the ball because the goalie already had it in his hands, but this guy just went to go push the dude. So for me, it was a penalty. For many people, it probably wasn't, but Richarlison stepped up to the spot, and he put it away. He slotted it home. Very good executed penalty, straight to the left post, just switching on the goalkeeper, and you could see the emotion in his face as well. What it meant to him. He wanted probably to play more of these games. He just played like the first two of this the Copa America campaign, but he really didn't convince Tite, and the changes that he made of putting Gabriel Jesus and Everton in the team, that's what brought him to this instance. And you could just see it on the Brazilian fans' faces. This already meant the winning goal, the winning Copa America, the decision, just to calm the fans down. They were super excited for what was happening. And then just a few minutes went by, and the Brazilian team would just shut down the game. And they were just trying to do that since that third penalty, basically. And Peru, ultimately, they tried. But like I said, I didn't see anything of them. I felt like they shouldn't even have been in this instance. And I hate that penalties are kind of bad to like certain players, because I felt like Colombia or Uruguay would have did a whole lot better in this instance if they were in this type of thing. I predicted that in my predictions. I would have never predicted Peru. I predicted them getting out and getting second place in their group, but I never thought they were going to get through. I for sure thought Uruguay was going to get through, but I mean, you could just look at that game review, because I also have a video on that. And ultimately, Everton won, the man of the match for this game. I feel like it was well rewarded. He was very, he made a lot of his presence be known with the penalty call and then the first goal, and he's been a very standout player for Brazil in this tournament, as well as Alisson. Alisson got the golden glove. I feel like it's well rewarded. He only got one goal scored on him, which is like freaking amazing. Liverpool fans, you gotta love this guy. I mean, I wish I was a Liverpool fan, because this guy is he's such a strong goalie. He's putting such a case forward that he's going to be the best goalie in the Premier League, maybe even in the world now. And then Dani Alves, he got the best, like the MVP, the best player in the tournament. And I feel like it was well deserved. This guy, he participated, I don't know how many goals, especially that goal in Argentina for Gabriel Jesus, but that was all started by him. And then ultimately Brazil got the goal, which what they were looking for. They got the Copa America in home soil, and it was theirs for the beginning. I did think Brazil was gonna win, but not having Neymar, I thought that maybe that could come into account. But also, I've mostly took into account like the ages, like seeing that all of them are just a young little group. I thought that was going to be taken into account, but I don't know. I thought the other teams were actually going to beat them. I didn't think they were going to come across. I thought like if they came across Colombia, then maybe they could have put a better match against them, but it's whatever. I just want to talk about like the certain players that stood out to me in this game. And for me, Paolo Guerrero was a very standout player for Peru. He's been a standout player for Peru for many years now. He's like a legend for Peru. He's been fighting for them this whole time. He's fought with anti-doping problems, situations that he had for the World Cup in 2018. It's very sad to see him look like this, but I mean, his team really didn't help him out, especially towards the end. They were giving a lot of hits they were just basically just hitting the Brazilian players, and I feel like he stood out. He's been very present in these competitions and for Peru as a whole. And just to mark up like certain standout players for me from the Brazilian team, there's a lot of them. I'm going to talk about a few of them that stood out to me and how their contributions could like help them in the future. This is a very young squad. I see a lot of growth in it. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. They seem to be very they have a lot of chemistry together. There's a lot of young talent. There's even young talent that they didn't even bring that are in top level clubs in Europe, and that's just another thing to be afraid for. They have like so many players to choose from. They're basically spoiled. And if they just keep up this rate, they keep up this work that they're doing, they keep this direction under Tite. I feel like they're gonna get even further in the World Cup. I felt like it was kind of cruel the way they got out of the World Cup. Mostly everybody just says it was Belgium, but I feel like it was more just for what's his name, Fernandinho, doing his mistakes. But for me, like from now on, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what like what's popular or whatever. But for me, they don't need Neymar anymore. Like I don't see him being in this team. I don't even see him, like they don't gain anything from him. He's too much of an ego. He gets injured way too much. He's getting older, and they look way better without having to rely on one person. And they never really relied on him. They never even really needed him. And just his brand of style, his brand of play, it's not attractive anymore. This guy flops way too much. He especially flopped way too much. He had like a Neymar challenge of just people mocking him for how much he flops, and you don't need that. The game doesn't need that. Brazil doesn't need that, and they're playing way better without him. And if I was Tite, I wouldn't even be calling him up anymore, because like you even have Vinicius Jr. playing in Real Madrid, who's like a way better player, a way better prospect as well. And I feel like he should get a call up instead of Neymar, which they play the same position. And then someone, like I said before, stood out to me is Alisson. This guy is a top-class goalkeeper. He's going to keep being a top-class goalkeeper. He's super young. I think he's like 23, 24. And he's in Liverpool. He just came off winning the Champions League. He's a solid goalkeeper, but people really don't rate him because he has Van Dijk in front of him. I don't know what they're going to say now. I know he has Thiago Silva, but Thiago Silva isn't the same Thiago Silva from like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, which he was the best center back in the world. But like I said, I feel like this guy needs to get the props he deserves. He's one of the best. His height does play a factor in how good he is. This guy's like 6'4", 6'3", I don't know, but he's got a lot of height. He's got a lot of reach, and there's certain games that Liverpool was like losing, or they were like finna lose, but if it wasn't for this guy right here that was keeping them in the title race, keeping them in the Champions League and things like that, they wouldn't have won what they would have won. And the same with Brazil. The certain instances that he was caught up upon, he showed up, and that's something to applaud. And then someone else is like Firmino. For me, I rate this guy a lot, especially more now than ever, because before I really didn't rate him. I know he went to Liverpool from Hoffenheim, and I just saw him in the Copa America from 2015, and he was kind of good, but I never really rated what he did because I never saw no end product. But I didn't know his playing style, and now I know. Now seeing a lot of Liverpool games as well, seeing how he plays with Salah and Mane, he's more of a pass first forward, more of a hold up play, more of bringing other players into the play. He really played good with Dani Alves. I saw that firsthand. And this guy is just amazing. And also his recovery for a forward, his recovery is insane. That second goal that Gabriel Jesus got, it was because it was recovered by Firmino. And like I have to applaud that. The guy does the same thing in Liverpool. I've seen it before. This guy recovers and he trails back, and he scores goals when he's needed as well, and he gives the passes. So you got to applaud what he does for the national team as well. And then someone like a voice, a strong leader, things that have been missing in Brazilian team for many years and that haven't been seen before, or haven't been seen in like past few World Cups and Copa Americas and things like that, was the absence of Dani Alves. I feel like he's very clinical to this team. If they want to proceed, they need to keep him in the team. I know he's like 35, 36. I don't know. He's really old. I don't think he might make it to the next World Cup, but like his leadership, him being the captain, you see the impact that he has. And I don't know. For me, it was like he was a major reason why they won what they won, why they won this Copa America. He was involved in a lot of the play. He was involved in a lot of the defensive play, and I rate him a lot. You know, I've seen him a lot in Barcelona. I've always rated him. He's been up in like the top leagues and the top teams for quite a while now, and he's just a great player to watch, in my opinion. And then someone that's the standout player for me in this tournament, and the one that every club, everybody that's in Europe should be looking at and should be keeping an eye on as well and seeing if they can get him right now, is Everton. I know he's probably going to get a signing. He's got to go to a big club now because I feel like he's ready. He's got that sort of something about him that just like makes you want to watch him. He's got a lot of talent. I don't know if he plays. He plays either wing. He plays the left or the right. I know he's more comfortable on the left, but he can also play the right. And I don't know if you're Ajax, maybe you want to call him up because you're probably gonna lose Neres or probably Zayic, and you should get a young talent like this guy. He's very, very quality. Arsenal, you should pick him up. That's just me. This is gonna be super cheap, but I don't know. Even any Premier League team, if you want a quality player, you should pick up this guy right now. That's just my opinion, and I don't know. They're probably not gonna listen to me or watch this video, but whatever. I know this Brazil look good. It's probably not as good as like the older days, like in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 70s, whatever, when Pele was around. But they have a lot to look forward to. I saw instances where they were playing that Joga Bonito that you haven't really seen in Brazil for many years, and it's good to be seeing it again. I don't know if it's gonna be staying. I know Tite's more of a defensive mind coach before offensive, but it's good to be seeing that they're changing, they're adapting, they're going back to their roots, and you can see that the players are happy playing as well. And that's what you want. You want them to be happy and them to be very participative. And it's good to see that Brazil is starting to win these trophies. They've suffered a lot in past World Cups and past Copa Americas, but it's good to see that the people are backing them again and things like that. This is all I gotta say for this video. I just want y'all to subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna keep on making videos. Probably the next one's gonna be over the USA Mexico final that's gonna be played in probably a few hours. And just like the video, comment on this one, share it with friends and things like that. And peace.